I'll start the rewrite as a single-part emotional story with smooth narration. The antique silverware sparkled beneath the warm lights of my aunt's farmhouse dining room. Everyone was gathered around the long wooden table, laughing, eating, and sharing stories. Then my cousin Bria lifted her champagne glass and gently tapped it with a butter knife. The room became quiet. Everyone. "I have some exciting news," she announced. Her voice had the same confidence it always carried. The kind of confidence that came from knowing people were already waiting to celebrate her. "I've been invited for an interview at Rainier and Locke." A wave of excitement moved through the room. Even my uncle stopped carving the turkey. "Rainier and Locke," he repeated, "the biggest financial firm in the Pacific Northwest." Brielle smiled proudly. "Vice President of Strategy." Everyone reacted exactly how she expected. My aunt looked like she had just heard her daughter won an award. My uncle raised his glass. "That's my girl." I sat quietly at the end of the table, cutting my food into small pieces. I had learned a long time ago how to disappear in rooms like this. At 41 years old, I was used to being overlooked. But in my family, silence never protected me. It only gave people more space to underestimate me. "Aren't you happy for her, June?" my aunt asked. I looked up and smiled politely. "Of course I am." My aunt nodded proudly. "Now, that's a real career. Not like..." She paused. "What is it you do again, dear?" The question was innocent on the surface, but everyone knew what she meant. I placed my fork down. "I run a private equity firm." Brielle laughed softly. "You mean that little online consulting thing?" My uncle joined in. "June, you're not getting younger. At some point you need stability." I smiled. They had no idea. They didn't know about the billion-dollar deals my company had handled. They didn't know I was finalizing one of the largest acquisitions in the firm's history. They didn't know that the company Brielle was desperate to join belonged to me. Not yet, but they would. Soon. Brielle leaned back proudly. "The CEO personally requested my interview." I almost laughed because I knew exactly why. 2 weeks earlier, her resume had landed on my desk. Human Resources had forwarded it with a simple note: "Another legacy candidate. Strong confidence. Questionable results. Final decision is yours, Ms. Carlisle." I already knew who she was. I knew the truth behind the perfect image, but I wanted to see what she would do when she walked into my world. "Well," I said, standing up, "good luck, Brielle." She looked amused. "Leaving already?" "I have an early meeting," she smiled. "Another video call from your coach." My aunt sighed. "June, when are you going to stop pretending this independence phase is a career?" I gathered my coat and smiled. "Maybe you're right." They looked satisfied. They thought I finally accepted that I was less successful. They had no idea I was simply tired of explaining myself. On the drive home, I thought about how long this had been happening. 4 years. Brielle was the one everyone watched. She had the perfect grades, the perfect image, the perfect stories. Meanwhile, I quietly worked. I built businesses. I invested in struggling companies. I turned failures into success. 5 years earlier, when the founder of Rainier and Locke stepped down, I quietly acquired controlling ownership through a series of private investments. Nobody in my family followed business news. Nobody cared enough to notice. They were too busy celebrating. Brielle, when I arrived home, my phone buzzed.